Okay, so today is day 2 or B day on our perspective, 1-point perspective city, and you'll still need your pencil, your straight edge, and your eraser. If you want to add color, that's completely optional. Okay, so if you want to, that's great. So I continued on with this building like I hope you did too. So remember, I started off with a real simple shape with right angles, 90 degrees, and then at the corners closest to the vanishing point, I connected with a receding line, and then the far end line right here is parallel to this line. Okay, we can leave it like this, but if you want to have like a building in the back here, you totally can. We will follow the same rules. Start off with your building, very rectangular. Actually, you know what? I might have going off the paper this time. Okay, and then the closest corners to our vanishing point, you're going to connect with the receding line. Now, we've got a building in the way. Now, I still use my vanishing point for my receding line, but I'm not going to draw it all the way there and ruin all of my work. So I'm just going to draw my building to where you want it to end, but you just have to make sure you're using that vanishing point. So even though it's not drawn physically to the vanishing point, you're going to still connect it. Okay, then you would have the far end line. Here's my original line, far end line. Both are parallel. And you can erase the eye level line because the building is covering it up. Okay, so I could have a road or pathway, or maybe this is a little plaza with trees in it. Remember, anything, I should say, on this side of the building that's on the side that's everything's very straight, you're just going to draw your windows and everything just with right angles. Okay, I don't have to worry about any kind of vanishing point. Let's see, make sure that my windows are about the same. The right of my windows, keeping this line vertical. And on the left side, keeping that line vertical. And you don't have to do what I'm doing right now. You can create anything you want. There's no wrong way. And I can have another door here using a vertical line because it's on the side. And then the top of the door, I'm going to use that vanishing point and just drawing it between here. Okay, now I'm going to go back here to this one. Now right now the doors I have are flat and one surface of the wall. I'm going to show you how to kind of move them inward like this one. So I'm just going to erase the handles. I'm going to keep this vertical line there, do a little bit of erasing at the bottom. So for this, if you want to kind of indent, you are going to start with this corner here. So basically, I'm focusing on this section of the doorway. I'm going to look at the corner closest to the vanishing point at the bottom. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to go from this corner, make sure my ruler is horizontal. If you need to check it, compare it to the bottom of your paper. That sometimes helps. And I'm going to draw a line all the way there to where the door originally was. Okay? Then you're going to look at this corner right here. So where this is like the interior, let's see, this is like the interior wall. And I'm going to look at this bottom corner, and I'm going to match it up to the vanishing point. And once again, I'm not drawing my line all the way there. I'm using my vanishing point, but I'm going to draw my line from that point to the edge. So now it appears that the doorway starts in a little bit. So it gives you a nice indentation. Okay, so you can totally do that. On this, I drew a covered area for this space. You can totally do that too. With that, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with like a rectangle, a long, narrow rectangle. So I'm going to start kind of behind this line, and I'm going to go out however deep you want it to be. Okay, so notice that my line is horizontal. And now I'm going to, I usually like to erase this because this is going to be hidden anyways, just so it doesn't get confusing. Then I'm gonna draw a very short little line here and a very short little vertical line there. And then another horizontal line. So this would be like the side of like an awning, okay? Now, just like what we did with the buildings, you're gonna connect with a vanishing point. So here's our vanishing point, and I'm gonna draw it. Now, I'm not gonna draw it all the way there because that's gonna be a lot of erasing, okay? Move to this next little space, connecting to the vanishing point. I'm not gonna draw it all the way there. And then this little space here, connected to the vanishing point. Okay, now what I'm gonna have is like the top part of this roof. So here's my original line, and that is horizontal. So I want this far end line to be also horizontal. And I like to erase these little extra lines. So this itty bitty little vertical line is vertical. I'm gonna have this vertical. So that's just one way you can make an awning to kind of give you a covered path. If you want sidewalks, another horizontal line here and here. Just notice that anything I'm drawing, like my original shapes, are always right angles, okay? So it's just a basic shape. Everything and within that shape is right angles. Then you're gonna find the corners closest to your vanishing point and connect with a receding line, and then the far end line and the original line are parallel, okay? So just have fun with this. You can add all sorts of details. If you wanna have something like wreaths or like a planter, you'll see that in around places. So if you want a planter, you would just draw your planter. You can have a planter on either side of this. Okay, just make sure the one that's closest to us is a little bit bigger. Then I can have a little pine tree, or you could have a topiary in there. Another one up here. So anything organic like that, you do not have to use your vanishing point, okay? And just have fun with it, adding your details. You can have little signs to a town, whatever you want. So hope you enjoy.